What's on, guys? Welcome back. Another edition Holy Tribe Football Podcast. Is me, AY County, from the People's Capital, the Blue State, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Week 4. To my west, D-Berg. What's up?
For a limited time only, to your on camera to your west. But yeah, I'm all right. All things considered.
Can to my east.
Things are good. I can't believe it. We're a quarter of the way through the season already.
Flying.
That's what makes it great. Make them count, guys. Make them count. After this weekend, we'll be a third of the way through the season.
Oh, in 10 days, Notre Dame will be halfway through its season.
That's true. That's true.
12.
No buys.
Yeah.
Where are all your buys?
I don't think there's not one until after the USC game.
What the heck? What do you have, like three in the last 4 weeks?
Yeah, they go eight games.
Interesting scheduling.
October, I think 21st, if that's the Saturday, whatever that is, that's a bye. So yeah, week.
That's the day of the Ohio State game for Penn State fans, which I'm not one.
Oh, okay, noted.
The day of the Ohio State game for Notre Dame fans, which I'm not one either, is this weekend. We'll be getting to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Week 3 in the rear view. This is screwing me up this week 0 crap. I actually happened to partake in it this year. Week 3 in the rear view. Not a ton going on. There was some oddness as we skate through these. Obviously, it ended with somewhat of a crescendo with all the viewership.
Someone.
That was
Someone is putting it mildly.
That was the Pac-12 after dark for sure. That was late.
Yep.
I texted you guys this, but I don't know. I forget it was in the call, but when he said after the game ended and the play-by-play goes, "Do you believe now?"
Yeah.
They're 23-point favorites. Like
gross. Absolutely disgusting.
This is fascinating. The coattailing is it really is.
It is. That's what. It's just I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So yeah, the Buffs won that. Wyo showed out this weekend. Tough game there, and Alabama was bad, among other things. Ken, what stood out to you?
Well, I'm 0-3 in locks now this season. Still trying to get off the schneid. May just stay rolling with Bama until they come through for me. But I mean, Florida, we talked about it. We were right about it as well. Tennessee may be bad this year. That stood out. I'll let you get to yours, Dan. But
probably Joe Milton. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Joe Milton may be bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mine was. I would say Pitt had
you want to get.
They had the worst performance.
You're ripping off the Band-Aid.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't think they were going to win that game to begin with. It's just amazing how
inept they were. Inept.
Yeah. You can't set the bar low enough. I've said this. Remember, I said this last year. After they lost to Georgia Tech, it was just like you can't even.
You picked Pitt to win on the Holy Try.
No, I know.
Well, you said you didn't think they would.
They gave up 17 points, 10 of which were scored after the ball was handed them inside the 10-yard line or thereabouts.
Okay,
so that's what I mean by
you said you didn't think they would win. You said you didn't think they would win.
It was a very lukewarm.
In the beginning of the season, and then I.
Okay. You fllipped it last.
Yeah, I thought they would beat Cincinnati and lose to West Virginia. Okay. So yeah, I just flipped I said that on the show too. Yeah,
right.
They'll still start 2-1.
I remember that.
So, to clarify, yes, I did pick them to win last week, but that was only because they lost to Cincinnati. Anyway,
yes.
The point remains that you can't even set low enough expectations without them being. Without them falling short.
Without them being exceeded in the downward trend.
Yeah. It was like, oh yeah, if Pat Narduzzi doesn't lose any stupid games for 3 seasons,
now,
he'll be back.
Would you categorize these as stupid losses, or would you? It's the way they lost it.
Like Georgia Tech last year.
Like this is no Western Michigan. This is no Western Michigan.
No, yeah, it was really bad looking, but it was not.
There's no Western Michigan.
Yeah, it's just I don't know, disappointing. Obviously, they I fortunately have soon-to-be brother-in-law of the pod, Gregor, notarized my
Gregor.
concerns back in May with handing keys to the quarterback room to Frank Signetti for the foreseeable, at least the short-term to medium future. Yeah, it doesn't seem like that's turning out to be a responsible decision with how just awful Phil Dracovic. I mean, the first interception right after they got a gift fumble from West Virginia's backup quarterback. I mean, there's a laundry list of things that suck about losing to West Virginia. Losing to Nico Marichal.
Markiel
Marichal.
Marish.
It's in the top 5 because that guy sucks. But
the freshman, give him some time.
Yeah, maybe. Anywho, that was, I mean, the pass that he threw, I was like, I don't know if he was trying to throw into triple coverage or just like 10 yards under throwing the deep guy that ran the deep route on that pass. But just never, even then when it was 17-6, I texted Flash Johnson and said, they might still pull this out actually. And they just got a block punt. I was like, okay, here we go. Maybe they'll make something happen here with 7 minutes left or whatever it was. And didn't inexplicably ran a quarterback sneak on fourth and 1 and nobody pushed the quarterback forward. That was interesting. So it was a calamity. Defense played all right, but
calamity
wasn't particularly high on West Virginia's offense. So who knows how much that's worth with a actual competent offense coming to town that we will discuss in, I don't know, hopefully 35 minutes. So it's just, it's bad, but it's like I said last week after losing another bad loss to Cincinnati. It's kind of like the Pirates after they had a mini run. How mad can you really be? Which is, not the best feeling, but it's something to monitor with this Michigan State coaching opening. As I joked with Pat Narduzzi, throwing it as a wild card for the Notre Dame vacancy. Maybe we'll see what happens.
You've got your fingers crossed.
Yeah, for sure. I was trying to push him to Cincinnati last year. Oddly enough.
He's got the program in a good place, though. You can't say that.
It's not. Because here's the thing. You evaluate things like the majority of people do on a curve. There is no point. Like there's just.
You're saying in the ACC.
Try something else at some point.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Just try. Like you tried it. The in the aggregate, what they're going to have is total anomalies where the offense leads the team to well exceeding expectations, I would say, or you're going to have like 7 to 8 good defensive performances a year. Yeah. And that's just the baseline right now. There's no point in, I don't care about the money they bring in because more people care still. Like that just doesn't, I'd rather try somebody else at the risk of then playing down to the level of a Rutgers or Vandy, something like that.
Rutgers is
I get why they won't do anything.
Rutgers is looking nice these days.
Oh yeah. True. 3-0. Yeah, I can't.
And a big win over Pry's ass.
Yes. But yeah, there's no point in just continuing down this from a fan standpoint. Mm-hmm. So that's my take on it. And that's been my take on it really since they've, blew a pretty golden opportunity to go to the playoff 2 years ago. So
it's the way the cookie crumbles in college football, right? I mean, the window is short, and unforgiving.
But the best, I'll end on this note. I wanted to pull this back up, actually. So Sean Gentili, who I don't know who he writes for these days, but he's Pittsburgh. He's been in the Pittsburgh sports media sphere for a little while now.
He's in the bubble.
He says horrific as Dracovic is, Narduzzi winning an ACC title with a fun, pass-happy offense and immediately, almost literally saying never again remains the primary issue. That's all you need to know.
Well, he was pissed that Whipple went. Remember? He's like, I'm glad we're running again.
Yeah. So
that's
because like I talked about last week, if they had rolled it forward with Whipple and Nick Patty last year, and then you'd have presumably Nate Yarnell this year. And I've been wrong about that in the past, especially on the show when they had Chad Wojtek. I didn't want them to move away from him onto Nathan Peterman, and look how that panned out. So not saying I'm certain that would be better, but
Bonus
seems-
Pittsburgh question: Is Pickett the answer?
I mean, still a little time to figure some things out, I would say, before you really break the glass, because I think those are two top 5 defenses they played. But it's the worst thing that happened to this offense is what they did in the preseason, because it wasn't like they were lighting the world on fire at the end of the season last year. They just won a lot of games because they didn't turn the ball over.
Right.
So, and I said they can't come out and wing it like they did. I said that against San Francisco, and will remain that case because they're good enough on, in the totality of the roster to win 10 games. And then when you play Mahomes in the playoffs, then you can go out there and wing it if you feel like you have to. But
right.
So Canada's getting way too much of the blame. He doesn't have the greatest feel. It's a crazy thing that he had the really great season at Pitt and then pretty thankless otherwise. So
what if at the end of all of this, he's back in the same office at Heinz Field for Pitt, for Narduzzi?
I don't know that I would care at that point, being honest. And I'd be stunned by that because of the Narduzzi kicking him.
Oh, go ahead.
What's that? If he went to Michigan State with Narduzzi, that'd be hilarious. Because you may forget he kicked him not even on his way out the door, like after he'd been out the door for multiple years. So we'll see what Boo City looks like. That was the big
Boo City. Yeah, Boo City. That was a good soundbite. He had a lot of good. He threw the offensive coordinator.
He did that. Hey, he's got him in spades. Can't.
Sounds like you've had enough of him. Well, we know this from a couple years ago, at least. He was on a zero tolerance.
I've had enough of him.
After the Western Michigan, he was on.
Yeah, I would say the final straw was when they lost to Georgia Tech last year.
Oh, that was gross.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna abandon the team or become a Colorado fan because our coach is an idiot. So.
No, of course not. But you're brighter days ahead, at least, right? You got something to look forward to.
I don't know about that.
Well, this is when you're when you've lost, you're done. When you're done with the coach, basically you're riding it out. Brighter days. At least there's something to look forward to. A coaching change, whenever that will happen.
I wouldn't even say I'd be interested to see how they go in that direction, and then if they do well, that would be the brighter day.
Oh.
No, well, I don't. There's nothing. I try not to get too.
Now, what if Narduzzi goes to? I'm transitioning here. What if Narduzzi goes to Michigan State, and then Dana gets fired from Houston, and comes back here and goes and takes.
Yeah, after my you were pulling up my old social media likes yesterday.
Oh, I wasn't. Somebody else.
There's a tweet out there from my.
David was.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
There's a tweet out there. There's a tweet out there of me recommending Dana Holgorsen to be Pitt's next head coach. They had a firing fraud. I think it was before Haywood even. That was the guy. Because, I think he was at Oklahoma State at that point.
Amazing.
That wouldn't be.
He took it on the chin.
Too inspiring.
Yeah, he took it on the chin. That wouldn't be inspiring. The game of the day, was it Kansas State, Missouri? That was incredible. The 56-yarder taking an off a delay and then nailing 61.
Yeah, 61.
I mean, it was the ending of the day. I don't know if it was the game of the day.
Yeah, it was back and forth. Klangner took it on the chin. So two SEC schools that looked, one of them looked dominant. LSU looked dominant. Florida looked dominant against Tennessee. I wouldn't say that they were a dominant team, but both of them taking care of business. Tennessee, I think we sniffed this out. They haven't looked good all year. And going down there, Napier really needed to deliver a message here. Took care of business.
Yeah.
Selfishly, if I were
the
fan, I would be happy about that. He's got a number of good prospects that Penn State was in on, and you were hoping a tailspin of a season might have landed them back on the market come December, but doesn't look like that'll be the case.
Still could happen.
What's going on with the Pitt man? He has not looked good to begin the season, and BYU with a nice win on the road there. You think he's topped out there for a little? There was some consternation there. People jumping ship some team captains transferring, and then obviously Kendall Briles moving on. But
he's gone from a lovable figure to not so much, I guess, these days.
Not
After
so
the start, the surprising start to be above average.
Tenure. It was tenure, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of Shredder? Shredder and them going into
the Shredder.
Purdue could be bad also, but
they're just they're playing like they did last year. Then we know that didn't end so great for for the Qs. But
when do you guys play them?
That's a Yankee Stadium game. I know that.
Oh, are you coming up here?
I can't remember. Absolutely not. I may never go to another road Pitt football game the rest of my life.
Unless they're in Charlotte.
We're going to Charlotte.
I guess that'd
be
true,
neutral. That wouldn't be
Charlotte. Yeah.
We're still going though.
Yeah. No, yeah. I'm trying. I think that's in October at some point. So we'll be catching them right after the 6-0 start.
That's good. That's a good time to catch them traditionally.
Yeah. That'd
be a perfect pit time to get them. Actually, Pitt super weapon loaded up for undefeated.
We might need Carlos Del Rio Wilson to start again though, like last year.
Yeah. A whipping in East Lansing, Washington not busting up the wagons that were circled for Mel. That was good. I mean, he's your guy, right? You got him for the Heisman, Dan?
Penix, I think. Did I pick him? I thought I had a weird one. I really need to go back and write those down and then have somebody else go back and listen to it. So
he's looking awesome. I can't wait. Awesome. When's the first big Pac-12 game? Let me see. Washington.
I know they're at USC this year. They host Oregon.
They host Oregon October 14th. That's the first game. So they don't.
Ooh, that'll be good.
Yeah, they got Cal and Arizona coming up here. Fish, I don't have too much faith in Fish.
14th is Notre Dame USC too.
Oh man,
could be a cracker of a day.
Yeah, I'll be watching from a sports bar in communist China.
We still have to figure out the logistics.
Yeah, we do.
Try and do it.
We do have to figure out the
logistics.
I might just have to mail in my picks.
Yeah, it's been done before.
It has been done before. Maybe I'll look like you do right now, Dan. I'll just be there. You may not even be able to hear me, honestly. But unless my grandparents upgraded their internet significantly, it is very, very bad in their apartment.
What's the deal with WhatsApp there?
WhatsApp you can use, I think. Yeah, WhatsApp is. Let me see. Okay. What do I communicate with my family with? It's WeChat, not WhatsApp. Sorry, but yes, I think WhatsApp does work.
Okay.
It works. But I think it may actually fit in where I catch you guys in a good internet area, because I do have a couple of pit stops I'm making before I make it to my grandparents' place. So maybe it might fall on a good time where I'm either in a hotel or I'm in or a hotel. Yeah, I'm in hotels, I think, for a couple of stops.
You'll be able to get on ESPN still, right? Or no?
I streamed the Rutgers game from there, actually.
All right.
So actually, internet isn't that bad. I streamed the Rutgers game all the way over there in freaking China, in my grandparents' place in 2018. So it should be halfway decent, right?
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah. All right. Anything else we want to touch on here? We picked James Madison and Troy. Did you see those clips coming out of the James Madison players and then the coach just trash talking the hell out of Troy? Troy Fangio was hilarious. He was gross. He was absolutely gross. He kept going back to them. Campbell trash talking fans, or not fans trash talking him and him trying to go after them. That's good. You guys catch that clip?
Mm-mm. I didn't see that. I saw they lost.
So they lost. There was an incredible field goal that looked like it was very good, and they marked it off, and they lost 10-7. They said it went over the goalpost, but it looked like it was significant. It looked like it was in. So they lost 10-7, and then there was a fan that was yelling at Campbell about being on the hot seat. Like, Campbell, what are you gonna do? You're on the hot seat. You're on the hot seat. Iowa State fan, like guy with like a flat rim hat, Iowa State jersey, looking gross. like an old guy.
How did he end up there? That's my
He
question.
was like, well, it's the Ohio Stadium. They were at Ohio,
Right.
so they were like walking to the locker room, I guess, through like a path from the stadium.
Sure. Yeah.
There's like a little rope area, and he was just standing there yelling at him. It was hilarious. And then Campbell had to be restrained because he came back to the guy. Not a good look.
No.
I mean, but not a good look losing to Ohio 10-7 either.
No.
They're tailing. They're swirling around the toilet. Not a good spot for my Pokes, who are themselves coming off a shellacking to USA. And
That was the email of the day, right?
that was the email of the day. That was a great email. They lost to USA. USA's a good team. We knew that. We talked about that before, right? Didn't expect them to lose 33-12 or whatever at home. But now they come around and have to face a desperate Iowa.
Neither did Cheyenne. He just getting his feet wet in some wagers, and heard all about the South Alabama Oklahoma State game. And then on the other side was Rance complaining about I think Louisiana Tech. I was like, where do you guys pull? I know you don't know anything about any of these schools. Where do you pull this from?
Oh my god! Wait, so he bet Oklahoma State?
Cheyenne bet Oklahoma State. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that doesn't sound like a. Where'd you hear about these schools? That sounds like he's just saw the school and he
Yeah, but I told him, I was like, they have like 4 quarterbacks. They all suck. they're all hurt.
That's funny. Anything else here? I mean, obviously Dion. We talked about that. That'll be funny. He's gonna get he's getting a spanking this weekend, right?
We'll see. Do we want to get into it?
Because
I remember I have a little bit of a
you want to
conflict.
talk about your Central Michigan game?
Oh, sloppy. A lot of penalties this year for Notre Dame. It's gotta clean this stuff up. Inconsistent. We mentioned letdown look aheads. Sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't. This one just it's like they got up and
they just needed to do it. They just needed to get out of there. And
they got up and they took a nap and they got back up and this was
I don't think I mentioned it before. I freaking love Audric. That's me. I usually don't like gross big ass backs, but he's awesome. He's awesome.
His metrics and his grades are
because he's got speed too. He runs away from people. He doesn't look like he's doing it, but he's great. I like him a lot.
He's been grading out very, very well this year. But yeah, whatever. Just they
did it. They had eyes on this week. It's good to
moving on. Yes. Yeah.
And then I had boots on the ground in Champaign.
Yeah,
not the most impressive bar scene I've seen, but maybe I was getting taken to the wrong places by our friends here. But environment was good, actually, better than I thought it would be. If they filled it decently, there's probably around 50,000 people there. They filled it decently. I mean, for what you would expect from Illinois after a loss at 11 a.m. local, they had some energy there. I had to deal with some Sandusky guys. That was good. Always good shaming them. And then Penn State took care of business. They did not look very sharp offensively. It's very strange because not only did Illinois have the best player on the field in Jerzon Newton, they also brought another guy down into the box. So Penn State was going against an extra guy in the box and running the ball. It was almost as if, Yurcich did not make any adjustments, but it was almost as if Yurcich was maybe testing his guys. This is, if you're putting your antennas on and tinfoil hats on, if you're a Penn State fan, this is what you're hoping for, that he was trying to test his guys and playing against a stacked box, seeing if they can adjust. Because, they're probably going to see similar looks from Michigan and deal with similar types of athletes there up front. They weren't able to run the ball that well. They were able to get the short passing game going, get the ball to the running backs and get them out in space. Singleton actually was the leading receiver this past weekend, which was nice to see. The receivers really didn't get downfield. It's very strange because, like I said, and they made it a concerted effort in camp and in the first couple games for Drew to really take care of the ball, no turnovers. Penn State's I think they're one of like two teams, them and Oregon are the only two without any turnovers on the season. But it's a very, I wouldn't call it conservative, but it's just very vanilla. You take what the defense gives you. There's only been a handful. I could probably count on one hand the number of passes that have gone past 20 yards, right? There was a nice one to Clifford at the end of the first half that brought the field goal try in that helped with the cover for those that had the first half wager.
That was a very nice play all around.
Yes, it was. That was the best throw. Actually, I'd say that's the second best throw of the day. First best throw of the day was probably the throw to Katron Allen, who dropped it right in the bucket, and he dropped it for the touchdown. That would have changed the complexion of the game. A lot of different things here. Bottom line is, defense came up with 5 turnovers, 4 interceptions. Altmaier, they had him in a spin cycle over there. He didn't know what the hell was going on. It was good to see because, Penn State fans came in very worried about what you've seen what Michigan did to them on the ground last year, what Illinois did on the ground to them 2 years ago, what that would look like. Obviously, they came in with a knowing and not being scared of Altmaier, forcing him to throw the ball something like 40-something times. I mean, how many times do you see Burt do that, right? And they did that because they were able to control the running game. I think a lot of that is that offensive line was not very good, and we talked about that in preview. But all in all, I think it's a solid victory. Nothing to write home about, but you still, even in this type of a game, come away with a comfortable cover, right? They were playing backups.
Yeah, I'm pissed they didn't score. They scored that second. I said 31-6. I'm pissed that they scored that late touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. So it was a comfortable cover. I mean, I don't think Illinois really threatened at all during the game, but it still is. I mean, it's the ideal win for a coach, right? You go on the road, you win comfortably, you get backups in, but it's still enough mistakes where you get 5 turnovers and you only convert it for 20 points. That's, you can holler at your team all you want about that. You can pound home teaching points. There's stupid personal foul and sportsmanlike conduct penalties. There were drops. There's a ton to work on here, but at the same time, you come away with a nice win on the road and you get backups in. I mean, you get the best of both worlds. So I guess you could take that silver lining heading into a very interesting week 4. That's all I got.
Okay.
And shall we move into that week 4?
Yeah,
I think so.
Standings are looking good. You guys still have a comfortable lead, 26-11, 27-12.
We're crushing it this year.
Yeah, I wish I could take some of these and send to my Cimarelli record.
I wish we could. I wish I would have betting out what you guys are putting out. You guys if you guys are actually wagering real money on these bets, we're making you guys a lot of money. Those out there listening, or these two are, not me.
You're 7 games over. That's good.
All right. Shall we jump in? Any news and notes before we jump in?
I was looking. The only thing I found was I like Iowa's jerseys this weekend.
Who? What?
I like Iowa's uniforms this weekend.
Yeah, the black pants, very nice.
I like that.
Yeah. I will touch on this in the Iowa preview, but Iowa tight end Lachey, not to be confused with Nick Lachey.
Or Barbara Lachey.
Yeah, or Barbara Lachey is out for the season. A big loss for them heading into State College in Pennsylvania. But yes, let's dive in. The slate, very meaty. I mean, I don't think we need a Sparty round here because every one of them is very meaty.
We are half hour in.
We are half an hour in. I think I saw the most amount. I think it's eight ranked matchups. This is the most that we've had since 2006. And I think I recall that weekend, actually. I believe it was the weekend that Ohio State played down in Texas and won, when there was a 1-2 matchup or 1-3 matchup, something like that.
Was that the Lima Swede? No, that was at Ohio State.
That was the return trip of that one. That was the return trip of that one. And that one, I think that had capped that weekend. It was like
that was a night game, yes.
It was like a big weekend of lots of games, ranked games. But
Okay.
where are we going first? Noon, the noon game. This one not a ranked game.
Not, but it's pretty good. Florida State traveling to Clemson. Clemson catching 2.5. Florida State struggled last week. Clemson played okay. Score looks better than what the game was. Yeah, BC is not good, and Florida State had their hands super full with them. Like, I thought about this earlier. There's two teams that I'm going to mention, benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to give one of those programs benefit of the doubt, and the other I'm not going to. And this is one of them. Clemson, you're done to me.
Yep.
I think Florida State goes in here, wins this game. Jordan Travis, Coleman and company. Norvell, just come on, go in there and just take care of business here. Verse, get after Klubnik. And Clemson's a little dinged up on offense, too. So give me Florida State winning this game 8 by 8.
By 8.
That's fair. I'll just go by 7, 31-24. Not much to add. Not going to be scared. This will be I will say, I'm looking through my picks here. Yeah, I'm only scared about one team. That's last on our slate.
I am taking the point. I'm taking Clem to win at home.
Ooh,
in
a
overtime.
Dabo stand.
A Dabo stand. I don't know. There's just something about it. Dabo is ready to. He needs this to shove it right in the face of everybody else. It's not even for saving his job. It's not even for the season. He needs it to be able to put it in people's faces. And I think his team scratches his claws. Absolutely disgusting. Gross. The offense is not going to look good. The defense has been somewhat decent, right, this year. I think they've got enough talent to slow down those receivers. And they put some pressure on Travis. Travis has been getting hurt lately, right? He's a little nicked. Maybe they knock him off his games. He's seeing a little ghost here and there. I like Clemson here to get it done in overtime. And I'm taking Dabo to be sitting smug, fat, and sassy.
That'd be a great way to start the day with an overtime game. Sure.
Yeah, that'd be excellent.
Okay, Oklahoma, Cincinnati. Cincinnati catching 14.5. Is this their Big 12 debut?
Yes, I believe so.
That's why we had to put it on there.
Yep.
Oklahoma. Actually,
Cincinnati, we did not mention lost to Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, that got lost. That was on the list of
not
that a big rivalry game. I think they played like 120 times actually.
It is, yeah. And Cincinnati won
good.
many in a row.
Yeah.
I'm kind of coming around Oklahoma here.
Me too. The defense, I like Oklahoma big here. I'll take them 35-7.
I like them big here too. I think Cincinnati. I don't think they're very good, and we'll get to some Pitt stuff later. But yeah, no offense, Dan, but yeah.
Well,
Dan does not take offense here. He is off this.
So yeah, I'm taking.
I'm
going to lay 2 touchdowns in the hook on the road with Oklahoma here. So yeah.
I am zagging, not for Pitt's SOS, just because I'm not panicking either. Even though probably losing to Miami of Ohio is panic worthy.
Well, the expectations weren't high to begin with, and they just kind of went up after the Pitt win, and then they came immediately crashing down again because of both teams, I guess, this past weekend.
Yep.
The Skillet game here, right?
Yep.
Battle of Dallas. I think this is the last one. Last time they're playing for a while.
Really?
I believe
The Dykes ball. Dykes probably wanted to take care of business here. I mean, Smoo, how'd they look this year? They held their own against Oklahoma, right? But otherwise,
I expected more.
Defensively, they did.
Defensively,
yeah. I wanted more of the La Tech game.
Yeah,
I wanted more offensively at the Oklahoma game. Did they get Houston last week?
TCU got Houston last week.
TCU got Houston, yeah.
They took care of business there. I think Houston probably a little worse than Smoo, but on par. I think Sonny, after that Colorado game, got his team's attention. They are not, I wouldn't say clicking, but they're a work in progress, and they continue to work in progress here. I think one touchdown is is enough for me to lay here. So I will go with a 10-point win here. I'll go 11 point, 35-24.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think TCU is getting better, figuring some things out after that shell shock week 1.
Something's got to give here early on. I'm throwing the records out, even though they have the same record, I believe, and I'm taking SMU in the points.
Okay.
It's a little bit peculiar how low that is. I will say.
Yes.
I think that would be double digits.
Well, yeah, maybe. It's a rivalry. People sniffing on the rivalry.
Colorado traveling to Oregon. This line's up to 21. It just seems like it's so many points.
Murphy's best bet.
Murphy's best bet. I mean, Hunter is out. He didn't look for much of that game like he was in sync with the rest of the guys. I got Oregon bigly here. I'll go 45-21.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna lay this number too. I think Oregon Landing's they're gonna score at least 50, and I just think there's gonna be relentless on Shedeur. That
You know. Afterwards, I was just gonna say, "Oh, we got the receipts. Don't worry. We see what everybody's saying. We see.
Yeah,
There's gonna be more fuel for next week."
I just don't think that they're gonna get stopped. I don't think they're gonna stop Oregon at all. So Oregon might score 60 actually. Give me Oregon.
Is Lanning still playing the Charlie fuck around football like last year? Because I'm not a big fan.
I mean, they've been naming their score this year, but they haven't played anybody.
Except for
Texas
Tech.
Sorry,
Except for Texas Tech.
Completely forgot about that.
Yeah, but I'm taking the points. Obviously, I'm taking Colorado every week this year. Unless they end up going 3-8. I'll pick against them in the last week, which is against. I'll take Utah. Mark my words, if they go like 3-8, 4-7 from here on in.
Yep.
Speaking of Utah laying 4.5 home against UCLA. I don't know what Utah's doing at quarterback. It hasn't been good.
I'm taking Chip here. Yeah, I haven't liked what I've seen from Tar at quarterback. I'm taking Chip here with though they got the freshman quarterback. That's something to watch, something to be careful of there. But I'll take the points here. Maybe it's I'm not going to go hedge P, but could see a field goal game. But I'm worried about Dante Moore and in that atmosphere. In the altitude,
was he committed?
I will take the points.
Was he committed to Pitt and Notre Dame at one point?
No, he was committed to Oregon. I don't think he ever committed anywhere else, but he was heavy lean to Notre Dame. A lot of people thought he was going to Notre Dame, but ended up going to Oregon and then flipped to UCLA. Though it's like people like Tom Loy saying it's a heavy Notre Dame.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm taking Chip as well. I'll take him outright. Screw
yeah. I was thinking outright, but I'll just maybe hedge feed.
Let's just cover the whole gamut here. I'll say Tar wins an absolutely gross game. They don't deserve to win by 6. There's a lot of favorites for me. All favorites.
I don't know what you're doing. Yeah. This is unlike you.
This is weird. I'm going to go favorite again.
Yes.
I mentioned benefit of the doubt. Every piece of me obviously wants to go Ole Miss here in the points. But I'm just going to give Bama one more game. And look at Lane with...
This has got to be a pride game for them. Come on.
What they did with Tulane didn't really deserve that final score. Actually, they definitely didn't deserve that final score.
They didn't deserve the cover against Georgia Tech either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is...
Are they paper tigers?
I don't think Ole Miss
were
is
last
very
year.
good. So give me the Tide by 7. Don't ask me how, but pride.
So you're saying push?
Kenny Minchie, I was thinking of Ken.
8. No, we'll say 10.
All right. Kenny Minchie.
That's what I was thinking of. End up going to Notre Dame. that was committed to Pitt, not Dante Moore.
Okay.
Anyway, Pitt. No, I'm going with. I am taking the Lane train to lose like 30 to 27.
I hope
something to that
not.
effect. First HP.
HP. Very nice HP. Holy Pride Football Podcast. HP.
That's right.
I'm with AY here. Obviously, I can't get off it, but yes, Saban's seen all of it the last couple of weeks. His team's seen it. They had a players only meeting. You know what happens when they have the players only meeting? Well, usually, ship continues to go down, but maybe this will turn it around. Alabama obviously has the talent. I've seen so many people saying, "Oh, this spread should be going the other direction. Alabama should be getting the 7 points."
Hardy har.
Hardy har. Milroe, firmly believe he was suspended because there's no way they wouldn't have put him in. How shitty those other two quarterbacks were. He's back, announced as a starting quarterback for this game. Nick isn't fucking around. I think, and I've seen it said before, I mean, there were a lot of players that were not happy that Milroe wasn't starting, and as a result, just weren't giving a fuck either out there. That's very unlike a Nick Saban team, but it looked like it out there. And so I think Milroe back in the saddle. The team is ready to go. They've seen all the noise, and they come out and have a resounding, probably the best they look all year, because it might be a one-time thing, a one-time only thing for this team. But I think they take care of business here, like 17.1, 34-17.
Is that duct tape?
No. Might be Dan.
What about duct tape?
Is that you?
Sounds like you're duct taping something.
I think he's scraping a pencil or a pen against something.
Sorry.
I'm
not doing anything. I'm tapping,
Is that me?
Describe.
I don't think it's me.
I don't know what it is. The Pac-2 game.
Did you see the Pac-2?
Pac-2 relegation.
Yeah. Working with the Mountain West.
That could have been news.
Relegation.
We missed it.
Yeah, we missed it.
I am so for it, but there's no chance that you can institute this with how much money.
Well, that's the thing. Those two conferences, not that much money at stake.
It's true. Could be advantageous.
I think the Mountain West schools get like $4 million a year from their CBS.
It could be very advantageous for teams to join that sort of conference. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Wazoo, Oregon State.
I'm not taking the home team here. I'm thinking UE Ugalele. They've looked good this year. They were putzing around a little bit this past week, but I'm taking them here. I got them at -2 earlier in the week. But I am playing Oregon State here. I
swear I wrote all these down before. I'm going with the Cougs. Feels a little bit too good to be true at the moment for the Beavs, but I'm happy to be proven wrong by Jay Smith.
Yeah, I think we're dueling on every single one of these. Oh no, we're together. That's it.
I'm going Cougs too.
All right.
I think the Beavs are a better team, but one of those weird games at the Palouse.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, never know. Baylor.
This one.
I'm definitely going to Rander here.
Yep.
I don't trust Texas as far as I can throw them.
Yep.
That's true. I'll take the points here. You have 2 touchdown points. Yeah. I'll go a 14-point win for Texas.
Could be a
HB.
Could be a Big 12 championship preview here based on my preseason assessment.
That'd be something.
No, I am taking the points though with Baylor.
So all on first unanimous decision here.
Okay.
All right.
On to our games. Here we go.
You want to go first, AY, or do you want to save the best for last? Yours is the best game.
No, I'll go. No, I'll go. Notre Dame's getting 3, which is sweet.
You called this earlier.
So there's so many there's various topics here. One of the main things is the ticket sales and how Notre Dame has gone through extensive efforts to try and prevent another red out, as we've seen in the past with Georgia,
yeah,
Nebraska, and I'm forgetting one more. But anyways,
they got the light. They got the light bracelets going. That's how you.
Yes, they strategically the 5,000 allotment has been. It's not like sectioned off. It's kind of rows sprinkled out throughout the stadium, so they can't gang up and block up.
they're the worst.
So they're really going through efforts as far as resale and all that. So there's a lot of effort going into preventing a red out. Some people, freaking Brad Powers is saying he's thinking it could be 50-50.
I love it. I love it.
And like
I love it.
He roots for Notre Dame. I mean, he's a capper, so he's obviously objective. But 50-50? Are you out of your mind? I mean, I get it. It's not that far for Ohio State, but anyways, so we Notre Dame with Sam Hartman, I think, can actually attack this game unlike last year. Look at last year. It was keep away, four corners offense, stall, shorten the game with Buckner. Look at Notre Dame's last three quarterbacks. Buckner and Pine. Look what they did last week.
Buckner, Pine, and Jerkovic.
And Phil.
Yeah.
Like, look at these last three quarterbacks.
I saw a lot of those. That was a lot of those coming.
You don't get to shoehorn Jerkovic into this.
Well, he never started. He never started for you guys.
I'm just
fair. Pine last week was like 5 of 14 for 2 picks and 52 yards. Buckner 5 of 13 for like 34 yards. They went into Ohio State last year with Can at quarterback and hung on. They had a great game plan. I think they need to completely switch that this year. I think this year they need to attack.
They can afford to do so, I think.
This is the biggest difference in quarterback room in the country by far. I mean, from what there was last year to this year. And just attack Ohio State. Look, their defensive line hasn't gotten going yet, but it's only a matter of time until Sawyer and JTT get going. Pass pro is the weaker of Notre Dame's line. They're much better running the ball. So be aggressive, but that doesn't mean you can't run the ball. Look what Notre Dame did last year to Clemson. They just mauled them. Can you do it again? I don't know. Clemson's front seven was pretty good last year. But look at the blueprint that Michigan provided in recent years. Just run down their throats. I don't know if you can do it, but it certainly looks like that's the way to go. And McCord on the other side, look at his downfield passing numbers. He's completing, I think it was like 36% of passes over 10-plus yards. And 10% of those are turnover-worthy throws. Last week, Western Kentucky surely got going, but they're missing 8 starters from last year. Ohio State defense, which is, I think, pretty good, played well last week, so that's good for them. So, how's Notre Dame attack this? I think you run the ball and hit big plays. Look at Notre Dame's touchdowns this year. They've been like they have like 12 over 20 yards. It's just they hit big plays, and they have a quarterback that can do it, and they have the QB edge. I saw a podcast. I searched Ohio State football yesterday. I was going to listen to a little bit. The one podcast was titled, "Who's the better quarterback, Kyle McCord or Sam Hartman?" Or something like that.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was like, what are we freaking doing here?
Yeah.
I listened for like
that's a bridge too far.
Like 14 minutes, and I just stopped. I think McCord could very well be a great quarterback by the end of the year or next year. But
he barely won the job.
Barely, he just named the full-time starter a week ago. First true test with hopefully a good crowd and good toughest opponents, I think you need to pressure them, which Notre Dame pressures a lot this year. I don't know if they're showing that to try and sleight a hand for this game or what, but I think if I was Notre Dame, I would make McCord beat me. I think Ohio State can run the ball. I think they will run the ball. I think you just need to make McCord beat you, which is tricky because of those receivers, but McCord's got to get it to him. If you pressure him, make some bad passes, you can take advantage of that there. So pressure McCord, get after him, make him beat you. And on offense, this is one of those games where I think if you do need to score points, and this is one of those rare times where in the last 5-10 years, Notre Dame has a team capable of winning one of these big games where you need to score the points. Like in the past, Notre Dame, if they win a big game, it was going to be like the Georgia game a few years ago, 2019, they lost. They lost the Oregon and Georgia like 24-17. Notre Dame can score 37 points here if need be. And that's kind of what the blueprint's been in these big games between these bigger teams over the years. Defenses are good, but the offense is just overwhelmed. So run the ball, pound it, hit some big plays with Hartman. Hopefully they don't scheme guys open from McCord. I mean, they'll get open on their own, Harrison and Ibuka, but can McCord get it to him? We'll see. And obviously, just don't turn it over. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. This is probably
they'll be up.
This is a game I don't like having to pick because don't want to overreact to Ohio State. And frankly, even a little bit the Irish. So it's really, him and hawing way of describing it, but I just want to see what happens here. We'll learn a lot more about both teams after this game. If it's a close, tight game, I think both teams will be right in the mix. Certainly Notre Dame for Independence Conference supremacy. And if Ohio State win or lose, they'll have, as long as they don't get smashed, then they'll have a chance to, join, I should say, assert themselves in the 3-horse race with Penn State and Michigan themselves. So it's a tough one to pick. I mean, I think you have to take the points here. And I can't hedge P, right? So I'll go. I will go. How high?
You go 28.
I could, yeah. But could I go 28-24 Irish? And maybe that's a late score because I don't know how much to trust Ohio State at the moment.
I am purely for SOS purposes here.
Of course,
I am going Ohio State here. I think not that they've been playing possum or opossum, but I think that there's something here that I don't think that it's even been paid, like holding back either. But I think there's something to be said for these guys. They get up for they get up for the Michigan game, but they get beat, right? But they show up in these primetime matches. Like when they came up just short against Georgia, looked fantastic in it. They should have won it. I think Day has a good way of getting on his players and really coming to the table with a really good game plan. I'm excited to see what he's going to do here. And the scheme-wise, I think he will protect McCord. He will get the ball into Harrison's hands, as well as Fleming and all those guys like Buka. But more than that, they're going to lean heavily on Trivion. Trivion looks like he's back to his old self. I think he'll have a decent game here. So I'm going to go with Ohio State to squeak it out on the road somehow, exact opposite of what Dan's saying, 28-24 Ohio State.
I just got an angry text. So, of course, now I have to go not so fast, my friend. I'm flipping it. 31-21 Ohio State.
Whoa. Whoa. The live text.
Yeah, that was
it is a significant other of the pod's
Wow.
birthday on Sunday.
Mm.
But no, yeah, I'm interested to see. This is I keep all my beginning comments until my prediction.
Yeah, I think so. I guess in summary, I think Ohio State will be able to find success running the ball. Notre Dame hasn't been tackling well. Last week Bertrand was out, so I'm kind of just hoping that was some of the case. But even before that, they weren't tackling well. I still think Ohio State is going to run the ball nicely. I think Notre Dame will as well, and make McCord make the throws.
Make him make the throws.
If he makes the throws, they're going to be nice because of those receivers, but he's got to get it to him. So make him get it to the guys.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not backing down now. I felt
they do have the better wide receivers. I think Ohio State's got better wide receivers of all wide receivers. They're better than wide receivers than everybody else.
Yeah, I'm not backing down.
Measure up.
I felt better about this a week ago. I think Ohio State, as impressive as they were in Western Kentucky, just trying, one game. So, yeah, I'm sticking with Notre Dame here. Outright, they gotta – if we can go back and roll the tape from some of these other big games Notre Dame had, I probably said the same thing. They got to get one of these. They got Clemson last year, but –
You don't count that scalp.
This is Ohio State. This is big time here.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's get this one. Duke on tap. Jeez, that's gonna be tricky, but
yeah,
we got this one first. So let's go out. Hartman, he could just elevate himself into incredible lore.
Yeah.
Off the bat, and they can still finish 9-3. Don't get me wrong, but still have this pelt. You're right. So yeah, Notre Dame wins. I think they're gonna need to score 30. I think they do. One other note here: Freeman is in love with Schrader, the kicker, who has an absolute cannon for a leg.
Not to be confused with Schrader and Syracuse.
No, but this Spencer Schrader, this guy can freaking bomb the ball. Yeah, I think he has 5 field goal attempts this year, and 4 of them are from over 53.
Amazing.
We catch. Yeah.
So I don't want to kick these long field goals, but it could be the key at some point. So we'll see. I think that's going to be a something to watch here. Like a 4th and 2 at the Ohio State 35. Do you go for it, or do you send it out for a 50-yard field goal? Big decisions like that could be the game. So, but they have a kicker capable of the distance. Notre Dame wins, and they score 34. 2 field goals for Schrader. 34 30. Notre Dame wins.
To catch up on Don play,
yeah.
That Kansas, I was thinking about locking up Kansas this weekend. That game is very strange.
Putting up Scarp.
Yeah, Nevada hanging in there admirably, because I looked to see how they, score a couple late. Nope. It was just kind of they were kind of in it with Leipold the whole time. And I don't think it really matters if Clemson sucks in Alabama, because the fans are just insane for both of those two schools. It would take, I don't even know how long for that to be an actual problem.
Sorry, Don, about Kansas. Ocker texted me Creed videos too as we speak.
What's Ocker saying? Ocker's watching?
He's texting me videos of Creed performances.
Oh,
I thought you said Crean as in Tom Crean.
Oh no, Creed.
Well, if Ocker is listening, congrats again, my friend.
Congrats to him and Andrea/Andrea.
Hopefully she's not watching. That would be good.
All right, let's move on here. We got 2 more to go.
The second best game in the 7:30 slot. The whiteout game in State College. This one, very interesting.
Hold on, Ken, you're going to the game, and Dan, are you going to the game?
I will be there, yes.
How are you guys going to take – are you guys going to listen, check your phones?
Definitely checking phones, and we'll be watching the next day. The Ohio State Notre Dame game.
Not the Penn State.
I don't think I think I know what's in store for this game.
I do.
The kid's about to break
I do
down.
kind of enjoy like when people are like at the game, and, like whispering about other games. I think that's kind of
That was never made any more famous than the record-breaking Pitt-Syracuse game in 2016, going opposite the incredible Ohio State-Michigan game from 2016. Watching probably from midway through the third quarter to the end in overtime on the phone, as points were being scored every 5 seconds.
All right.
Sorry, Cam.
No worries. No, it's rainy. Rain is in the forecast. Another rainy late September top 10 Penn State team welcoming in Iowa in a revenge spot to a whiteout game. I remember this vividly. My first whiteout attendance game, freshman year of college. Not to date me.
Well, I hope for your sake and frankly all the viewers' sake, it does not go that way.
I saw there was a Aubrey something ranked the whiteout games today on the Athletic.
I didn't. Oh, Audrey Snyder.
Audrey Snyder, yeah.
She's not the best, but
No, she did rank them. I forget what was number one.
probably Ohio State 20.
The game where I was in Laramie or France, yeah.
Oh, you were in Laramie with France in 2005?
No, I was in Laramie or France. We don't.
Oh,
That was remember the craziness
Laramie
going
with
on.
France. I was like, what?
Yes. Sorry, I derailed you again. Whiteout, Iowa with the Black Pants, though.
Iowa with the Black Pants, very nice. I think
Very
they're
nice.
going black on black a few times, but they said, from what I can gather, have not done the black, white, black. That
Looks good.
looks very clean. If I take Oregon was under 71.5. I don't know. You missed the preview a second ago, Don.
What were
Take the over
I didn't
there.
give a score.
He might put 50 on Dion.
Oregon's putting 50 by themselves, yeah.
So I don't. We advise against the under play there.
If I go to one game, where would I go? Syracuse, Pitt, Yankee Stadium.
No, Penn. Okay. Yes. Yes, I agree.
that amazing football field they lay down there as well.
Yeah.
Made famous in the Pinstripe Bowl from last season.
I mean, all Holy Tri teams have participated in the Pinstripe Bowl.
It is the only one.
Is it the only bowl that we've all participated in?
Well, certainly in the history of this podcast.
Right, in within the context.
I've never seen Penn State the Sun Bowl, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen them there.
They've all
Notre
played the
Dame-
Fiesta too.
Yeah,
Probably multiple, actually, right?
we all fiestered.
Your Fiesta, who'd you play against in the Fiesta, Dan?
Well, that was Utah was the one, but they won it.
I thought we were talking
back-
about within the context of the game, the Holy Tri.
No, yeah, the only
duration.
overlap was definitely the Pinstripe.
Pinstripe. Oh, well, what game did you have after you won the ACC title?
Peach.
Peach. Oh, right. Michigan
Barty.
State. That's right. That's right. That's right. We'll have to do some more research. Maybe a Capital One Bowl in there. No, Dan never made it to that.
No, I would have never had the
Yeah.
tie-in.
Yeah, and before you get going, Kent, Don, I'll go back to you next week for a game I want to go to. It'd probably be something sick, like out west, like the Civil War. Oregon.
Laramie. You can't call it a civil war anymore.
Yeah,
Civil conflict, but not to be confused.
not going to
A
that.
real civil conflict. That would be good to go to, I think.
Maybe Arizona State.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Territorial Cup.
All right, getting back on track here. Rainy, like I said, hopefully we don't get the double thump. That's as silent as I've heard of that stadium. It was disgusting. Adrian Claiborne scored a touchdown on the blocked punt. But I digress. Iowa coming into this game, back on track. Brian Ferentz for the drive for 325. People all are acting like he's coaching for his job here. Even if he doesn't, it just means his contract is void after this year. It doesn't mean they can't give him a new contract.
Yeah.
If they have a good season, he doesn't make it to the 24, 25. They'll bring him back. So, but it is funny. It drives interest. Everybody's excited. He's got a couple of issues here. We mentioned earlier on the pod. Lachey, the tight end, out for the year. Not good. More than that, their running back's been dope. Caleb Johnson has been hurt for they say since like preseason, and it really hasn't looked like himself. He's not even listed on the depth chart this past week. Jazzy and Patterson, number 9, he had a nice long run against Iowa State. He is also not even listed on the depth chart. What's going on here? Is Kirk playing? Is Brian, not Kirk, playing possible? We don't know.
Oh, and have you seen McNamara?
He's been dinged up since he missed the last 2 weeks of camp.
He looks like he's like 40% out there.
Yeah, he lost the last 2 weeks of camp because of a non-contact injury, and then he was questionable for the first game of the season. All this to say, Iowa has come in here with weirder circumstances and won at Beaver State. Eric Hall, he's back. Penn State. He scored the game-winning touchdown against Penn State in 2021 for the Michigan Wolverines. Caught by pass thrown by McNamara. They've got a couple of wide receivers outside that seem to. I mean, I wouldn't say that they're explosive just from the scheme standpoint, but they've got talent as well. I think they've got enough to control the ball. It's going to be rainy out there. They're going to be, but I don't know if that'll help. I think they needed a decent weather game so they could have a good, a good opportunity to go through the air. It may hinder them a little bit here and may make them more inclined to run the ball, which I don't think is the best thing to do here. I'm excited to see in the rain how Penn State's DBs are going to match up here against what hopefully they'll do the same thing they did at Illinois and force McNamara to throw the ball. I think Penn State will win that matchup and they'll be able to stifle them. I'm not expecting more than 2 touchdowns here. If they get to 17 points, that will probably the most I'd expect out of them, or I think they would be able to get here. I probably expect in the 14 to 13 range, something like that. I know that's not much of a range, 14 to 13 points. On the offensive side of the ball, they Penn State obviously going up against a stout defense. I don't think it's as good as last year's defense. It's obviously they lost the linebacker that went to Detroit, right? He's very good, but they still have some great weapons, especially in that secondary. I think they'll be challenged. They've got Cooper DeJean back there, the great white hope. He's probably going to be a first rounder, very, very talented guy. They use him back in returning punts, I think, a little bit, and Iowa fans have been clamoring for him to be used on offense, a la Travis Hunter, Chris Campbell. But they've got him back there as well as a 5-star safety that's a freshman, so he's still working through some kinks, but he's 5-star. So he's got the frame. He came right in. He's starter Xavier Mpankwa. I can't really pronounce his last name, but he's very good. So good guys to keep an eye out on, and then they got a defensive end as well that should by some accounts, sounds like he projected in a couple of years he could probably be a first rounder. So they've got their usual Iowa talent there. And I think the key here is to see what they'll let Drew do. Again, I mentioned in the Illinois review, it seems like it's not that they're handcuffing him, but they're just coaching him. Take what they give you. Drew's not a guy that'll get rattled or like feel like pressed to make a play like Sean, I feel like, was pressed to make a play, right? He is comfortable just taking what they give and marching down the field. It's interesting to see, especially if it is rainy, if they take a similar approach. If it was sunnier, if it was clear, I expect Penn State to open it up here, especially against an opponent that there's bad blood coming into the game. I expect Penn State and Jim Franks to run it up if they get the chance. I don't think that they will get the chance, though, unfortunately. But I do see Penn State finally breaking through, maybe wearing them down a little bit in the end of third, early fourth quarter, breaking a long run there, and then maybe a turnover that'll put them in position to get another cheap field goal. once the Iowa falls behind, has to keep trying to throw the ball maybe at the end, maybe a sack fumble, something like that with an immobile McNamara. So I got Penn State here. It's 15. It's up to 15 in some books. We're picking it at 15. I got Penn State here. I'll go by 17 points. I'll go 27-10.
Perfect. I like that so. Look, I just don't see Iowa as being a threat, and I think what you said, the defense being just a step down from last year. I think this is a standard Iowa Penn State game where Iowa's undermanned and they kind of just try and hang around. I think it's kind of like the West Virginia game this year. That's gonna be this game. Just a little bit better team. No, definitely better team, Iowa. But McNamara is just he's not right, and he has to be right for them, and he's not. So yeah, 27-10. I am interested to see. I'll have this on the second screen. Penn State's rushing attack. The Lawn Boys.
I haven't gotten the lower.
I'm gonna say it. They haven't looked great this year.
No,
they haven't.
They're due. It's
yeah. You could say that. Yes, I'm not saying they're done by any means, but I expected a little more. I definitely expected more out of this O-line as far as running the ball and the running backs behind it. So maybe this is the game. But like you said last week, maybe they were testing. Yurcich was testing with the box and everything.
Alar, the best player they'll play all year, probably.
Alar
that was amazing.
Alar. I think he'll just take what Yurcich allows him to take in this game, and they move on.
I agree.
I'm going 24-13. I did not realize about the weather. I really wish Penn State would have got up like 24-0 against Illinois and then coasted that result. Iowa. Don, first of all, credit to Can for getting through a barrage of content. Thank you, Don. Appreciate the engagement. They did end up sneaking out the cover with 32 seconds left, but they were trailing until a minute and a half left in the second quarter against Western Michigan. So that was what I expected. Sam Houston D, yes. But I think you mentioned them wearing them down. I think typically in these games they get off to a fast start, and then chop a team's leg out on the same level of an Iowa or the Minnesota game last year as well, right? Although I guess that was a little bit sluggish. Was that
was sluggish to begin with? Penn State was like they weren't covered.
I remember the one that distinctly sticks out is the Michigan game from 2019 when they had all those big plays early, and then
21-0.
Michigan had the slowest moving comeback of all time. So that's what Iowa won't come that close as Michigan did. I think 24-13. What are we picking at again?
15.
All right, 27-13.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think you'd be shaking.
That would get me home. I sniped a 13 number that was out there for about an hour on Sunday.
All right.
All right, and then the best night game of them all here.
Oh God, yeah, this will be very quick.
The final kick.
The final game to kick off will be the Pitt Panthers hosting.
They saved the best for last.
Yeah, hosting UNC. I think in other years would feel a little bit better about the bounce back after just awful displays in back-to-back weeks. I just think this is a little bit different. And you mix that in with, Drake May actually being a good quarterback has not fared well defensively against really any good quarterback for quite a while. And I think that will ultimately lead to the demise in a really, really difficult drive for 6 after this one to get after the 1-3 start. It'd been nice to get one or two of those one of the two West Virginia Cincinnati games. Talked about that enough earlier, so I will go with 34-16 Tar Heels. Not great, but happy to be wrong.
Yeah, I think 7.5 is not enough here. It's. I'll take the. I'll play the Dom play 17.5. 9.5. 17 points here. UNC. I agree.
Yeah, you might need to put this in the history books.
Damn.
Dan, I think I'm off Pitt.
That's fine. It was a good run.
You don't think Pitt, like, it would have to be absolutely disastrous for them to fire him, right?
He's not going anywhere.
Oh, they're not going to fire him. No chance.
Like 4-8 wouldn't fire him. 3-9.
No way.
No.
But
2-10 wouldn't fire him. Honestly.
Let's go screw Pitt. Look,
now that's an unnecessary shot.
Yeah, look,
This is like when Jimmy the Rat infamously came into our DMs after Pitt lost a 2-win North Carolina game, or one or two win North Carolina team all those years back when Pitt was like 4-6.
Yeah.
Screw Pitt. Look, I'm still rooting for him, but my days of picking every week I think are done. I just can't.
Yep.
They haven't looked good these last.
They have disappointed. You sound like a disappointed father, AY.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still. I'm still rooting for him. It's just.
Yeah.
It's tough right now.
Yeah, if it wasn't so, it was fairly predictable. Again, obviously, this is disastrous offensively, but we'll see.
Yeah.
They have surprised. They have definitely surprised over the years. So,
now, don't get me wrong. You'll get the iPad Saturday night, but you'll be on. But okay, so I feel like that
historic day.
I feel like that Texas Tech guy when he puts the guns up.
Exactly.
I'm still like, come on, Pitt.
H2, H2.
All right, let's wrap it up here with some locks. I know we got a little looks like some home cooking this week, boys.
Oh, on the note of H2, Illinois is H2O. Actually H2O. They hail to the orange.
Ooh,
so
not bad. Wonder where they got it from.
I don't know. They got it. They've got
probably from water.
I was making fun of them because they had hail to the orange out, and I was like, "Who says hail to the orange out?" But then I saw that on the stadium they actually have hail to the orange, and then they just added the out for the.
It's no Beatrice, that's for sure.
No Beatrice. Thank you, Mike Brown.
All right, YO it is. I think they've been disrespected on the show this season
for far too long.
And App State would think they'd be a slight favorite, but I think YO has really backed up everything but for the fourth quarter against Texas. So I don't think this will be a diminished or depleted effort. I think Bull just gets them right back on the horse and they ride. Can they get to 30? Maybe an OT. maybe 30 to 24. They get the missed field goal and then they run it on the first play of overtime.
Did you catch that Dion going for getting the ball on the first drive of overtime?
Yeah.
And
I saw that happen. I did not catch it. I missed that by about an hour.
Yeah. Are there new rules? Because they had the ball both times first.
Well, because you get to choose the next step. So he chose to get it the first time. So then, so Colorado State chooses.
It's like how they have to choose to take the second half kickoff.
I had the.
We've messed. I had
the volume down.
Yeah.
So
it's a choose that you defer basically. And then at that point, the other team chooses to take the ball.
Okay, yeah.
I've had people mess that up in football games where you choose to kick off, but that doesn't mean that you get to get the
Yeah,
ball.
they do need to change that because didn't that happen?
Well, Deion did it on purpose. There are teams
Well,
that do it.
yeah. But I know as some teams somewhere I remember chose to kick, and the other team in the second half chose to receive.
Yes. So you got to
was like-
defer. You got to make sure you
Yeah.
defer. You cannot, if you want to take the ball in the second half, you defer. You don't.
They should just, I think, get rid of that. But it's not. I mean, it's not hard. I agree. But
Yeah, just don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
And the ref, I'm sure, is going to be like, "You sure you want to take the ball?" He'd probably double check there and give him the chance to change it.
Yeah.
You know. But all right, yeah, you taking Wild. I am getting back on the train here. I've taken Bama 2 weeks in a row, I think. So I think it's time for me to continue. I mean, I'm due to bounce back here soon enough. Right.
I would think so. They were going to cover at some point. So
Yeah, I'm taking
maybe
them
this weekend.
-7 against the Lane Train. Pride for Alabama. Pride. This is a classic. I feel like the last time I did this was like when UNC was floundering in basketball. Like Hubert's got to have some pride here, right? They did not. Narrator, they did not.
Don play. I think we might have to sponsor this segment. His crack game of the week
Yeah.
would be Rice versus South Florida. I actually like USF in that game, not just because they played Bama seemingly tough or just took advantage of ass quarterback play. But
Dan is buying into Mike Brown.
I'm buying in. Yep, I'm buying into
low.
Beatrice.
Beatrice, don't lose the food.
Yep.
That's a Pate saying.
I'm up. I'm going with. Look, I'm not backing down now. We said it 6 weeks ago. Let's keep it
There
going.
we go.
We are. We're locking up the Irish this weekend.
ML or +3?
Well, I said last week money line, so yeah, I guess I gotta just.
We'll
If,
give you the +3. We'll give you the +3.
if they lose by 2,
Oh, you have to grade it on +3. Yeah.
If they lose by 2, that's gonna suck.
Yeah.
That's a missed 2-point conversion right there. That's hard.
Yeah, go Notre Dame. I think the point that you also, I guess, my final bow. I think, Ken, you alluded to this earlier, was Ohio State not necessarily holding back, but maybe not looking their best yet, and
Like being on top of the game.
we're struggling with the perception of what Ohio State has been over recent years versus what they have been this year, and you try and figure that out to what they will be this week and what they will be the rest of the year. Yeah, I think they're going to be pretty good. It's when they take off. Is it this week or is it in a month?
Hopefully not in a month. Hopefully not this week either.
Hopefully they wait one more week. But yeah, we're the best Ohio State is for sure to come. Just maybe wait till October.
Can't wait.
Yeah, Notre Dame +3.
I cannot wait.
There we go.
Here we go.
I'm excited. Viewing this week, wait a few options, but I think I settled on Han is going away to her sisters. I think I'm just going to.
You should stop by your. Oh, I guess he's not going to really be there. I was going to say you should stop by your brother's new house.
There's that. There's some people are going to get in Bloom. Rance going to get in Bloom.
Yeah.
Could get to go some guys here, but I think it's just going to be Chelsea and I just hanging out Saturday
Wow,
night.
that's nice. I did that a couple weekends ago. That's
They like going to party.
Not going hard. It's going to be solo taking the games in. 3
Solo
screen.
dolo.
I think that's.
Why is Smoo a +6 dog? Point dog.
Yeah, we covered that earlier. It was it is
The
a
line's
little
right,
bit
yeah.
peculiar.
It is. But I'm taking the cheese.
I did
I'm
not
taking
take
cheese
the
too.
cheese.
Two
Well,
cheese,
I am.
two
cheese takers.
mice, and one
Non-rat.
one cat.
One non-rat line.
Don, we do appreciate your interaction. It's been good. We hope to see you next week as well.
Yes, please.
Hopefully, we're all in a good mood. We will be
Yep.
regardless or irregardless, but
Yeah,
We're always in a good mood.
we'll be ready to go for next week because season will not be over next week.
Hmm.
In 2
It's
weeks.
only just begun.
In 2 weeks, it could be. Not yet. Thanks, Don. We appreciate it. For me,
Yeah, AY, you are scarred with it with Miami. With is it you talking Notre Dame's playing Miami in 2 weeks?
no, I'm just saying the season could be over. One loss doesn't end your season. 2 losses kind of does. Although, depending with Can's grading on a curve, some other teams.
Yeah, until you lose 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8 could be some team seasons.
Can has a whole scale.
It's all about Professor Can. We'll have to have Can release his curved tiers one day.
You got back-to-back ranked games. They want Duke coming up as well.
Oh, then everyone's favorite Louisville, followed by USC. Yeah.
What a stretch. Notre Dame plays a soft schedule.
Let's just get through this weekend, and then we'll worry about the next one. Again, Don, thank you from me, AY, from the beautiful state capital, Blue State, Commonwealth, Pennsylvania, to my west, Dberg.
Good night, all. From behind enemy lines.
Mm-hmm.
Your enemy's lines. My ally at the moment.
Yeah, Can to my east.
Enjoy, guys. There's a little nip in the air. A little like
There is safe travel to the games this weekend for Yins too. And Don, have a good weekend. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week for the week recap and preview. Have a good one.
Yeah, I don't know. I think